Let's talk about something that gets a ton of side eye and a lot of stereotypes. Relationships with a big age gap. You know the ones. They often get boiled down to these really simple and honestly kind of lazy explanations. But today we're going to peel back those layers and really look at what's going on underneath the surface. We're diving into the unspoken dynamic that drives these connections.
So, let's just get the big one out of the way first, right? Is it all about the money? The classic gold digger thing? Well, what if I told you that's missing the point? Like, almost completely. The real story is so much more nuanced and, frankly, a whole lot more interesting. We're going way deeper than the wallet here.
So, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to bust some of those stereotypes and get to the real pull factors. Then, we're going to get real about the challenges, because they are definitely there. After that, we'll get constructive and look at the principles for building a strong bond, and we'll wrap it all up with a pretty powerful litmus test that kind of reveals everything.
All right, so let's start by pushing past all that surface-level noise. The whole idea we're exploring is that this attraction isn't about the superficial stuff. Note, it's about these really deep-seated qualities that, just take time to develop. And it all really starts with one single powerful concept.
And that concept is emotional safety. So what is that really? Well, it's that feeling of security you get when your partner is stable, mature, and doesn't just fly off the handle at every little thing. It's the feeling of being able to just exhale, to relax, knowing you're with someone who is steady and grounded. This right here, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
So, how does that feeling of emotional safety actually translate into real-world attraction? Let's break down the specific qualities that create that magnetic pull, the things that have way more to do with character than with a bank account.
And here they are. This really breaks down those primary attractors. You can see how they all tie back to that idea of safety, right? We're talking emotional maturity, that calm, steady vibe. Confidence that comes from actually having gone through stuff, not just ego. A clear sense of purpose. And look at this one. Financial and lifestyle consistency. This is so key. It's not about being a millionaire. It's about being reliable. It's the peace of mind that comes from just knowing things are handled.
This slide really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's a tale of two different life stages. On one side, you got that figuring things out phase, which, hey, we all go through. But on the other side, you have someone who's just more grounded, more decisive. It's not about one being better. It's just, you can totally see why that sense of stability and directness would be incredibly appealing. It's a powerful draw.
So if you take away one thing, let it be this. It boils down to reliability. That stability that comes from knowing who you are and where you're going, well, that's a powerful attractor. Way more than a flashy car or a big bank account. It's the promise of consistency in a world that can feel pretty chaotic.
Okay, but powerful chemistry isn't some magic wand that fixes everything. Just because the attraction is real doesn't mean the relationship is a walk in the park. Now we have to look at the other side of the coin, the very real, very tough hurdles these couples often have to face.
And these challenges, they are no joke. I mean, think about the day-to-day stuff. Totally different energy levels, different social scenes, or the huge life-altering questions like, do we want kids? You've also got the cultural gaps, the movie references that just don't land, the completely different friend groups. And maybe the biggest one of all, that risk of a power imbalance, where one person's life experience can accidentally create this feeling of inequality. And this chart really highlights the big three trouble spots. That lifestyle and energy mismatch, that's a constant, everyday source of friction. Goal misalignment can be a total relationship ender. Doesn't matter how much you love each other. And those generational gaps, they can create this subtle but constant sense of being on different pages. These are the things that can quietly wear down even a really strong connection.
And this is the bottom line for this whole section. It's a hard truth, but an important one. You can have all the attraction, all the chemistry in the world, but it cannot paper over fundamental differences in what you both want out of life and how you want to live it. It just can't.
So, knowing all those challenges, how do you actually build something that lasts? This brings us to the good part, the principles for building a strong bond. And what you'll see is that these are actually pretty universal for any healthy relationship. So here's the blueprint, the three core principles. First, authenticity over ego. The connection has to be real, not just about proving something to the world or to yourself. Second, shared values over age. It doesn't matter if you were born in different decades if you're aligned on the big picture stuff. That's what really counts. And third, and this is huge,
mutual respect, and balance. This has to be a partnership of equals, not a parent-child dynamic, not a mentor-mentee thing, a partnership. So what does this look like in the real world? Let's get practical. Step 1. Lean into your actual strengths, your maturity, your clarity. That's what you bring to the table. Step 2. You have to reality check your goals and lifestyles, early and honestly. Third, you've got to actively work to sustain equality. Make sure her voice is just as loud and just as important as yours. Fourth, be authentic. Your experience is your asset. Don't try to act 25 if you're not. And finally, step 5, the most important one, build that emotional security day in and day out by being consistent.
Okay, so all of this, the good, the bad, the principles, it all brings us to one final, incredibly powerful question. This is the ultimate litmus test. It cuts through all the noise and shows you if the foundation is actually solid.
And here it is. If age were removed from the equation, would you still want to build a life together? Just let that sink in for a second. If you stripped away all the external stuff, the novelty, the ego, what other people think, is this still the person you choose to build a life with? The answer to that question, it tells you absolutely everything you need to know. Because at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? The real win here isn't about landing someone younger or older. The real win is creating a partnership that feels balanced, feels secure, and it's totally aligned on the things that actually matter. A connection that would be just as strong no matter what the numbers on a driver's license say. So that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If it's not age, and it's not just that initial spark of chemistry, what really predicts if a relationship is going to make it? Well, as we've seen, it all comes back to those core fundamentals: shared values, genuine authenticity, and a deep mutual respect that creates true emotional safety. And that's a dynamic that transcends age every single time.